Hey there, thank you so much for tuning in. If you've stumbled on my channel for the very first time, my name is MsDorciah. I am in love with all things beauty, fashion, and everyday life. But there's a catch. I can be simple and basic or extra and bougie. You see, I love beautiful things, but if I don't have to spend all my coins, then I'm not going to. And if you are a returning viewer, hey kitten, thank you so much. I appreciate your continued support. Today's video took a lot of research and it took me down many rabbit holes. And because I don't want to inundate you with a lot of information, I'm going to make it as simple as possible. This subject is very far reaching, very wide, and so many different opinions about body shapes. So, I've recently learned that there are over 10 classifications for body shape, but I broke it down to the simple five, those that we hear the most about. Today's video is a breakaway from my normal fashion and fashion hauls, but I'm really excited to do it. And I took a poll on Facebook, and you guys were open to hearing about it as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's get into the video. All right, so the first thing I want to say is whatever your body shape is, remember that you were wonderfully and fearfully made. And remember to always love who you are today, not who you want to be tomorrow, because it's not promised. And now that your crown is on straight, let's get into the video. All right, y'all, I have a lot of notes, so I'm going to be making sure that I don't miss anything. So you are going to see me referencing my notes. This is just a guide, and I've learned that not every body fits into a perfect category. There are so many nuances and elements to take into consideration. One of these is knowing that your body shape is in your DNA. It is in your bone structure. And if you are fortunate enough to know your lineage by looking at your mom and her mom, you can thank her or not for your unique shape. Here are some interesting facts that I've learned in my search to understand my body shape when it came to cultivating my style and expressing myself creatively through fashion. Your shape changes throughout the course of your life. Number one is puberty. When, as a woman, you start to come of age, of course, we get the breastises and we get the hips. Number two is stress. When life starts to happen and we start to adult, stress is a part of human nature. And what does stress do? It spikes cortisol. And then fats start to accumulate in the body. Pregnancy, what happens? Estrogen increases. So then our breasts start to swell. We start to accumulate fat in our belly area, in our hips. As life move on, menopause. That damn menopause. What happens? Estrogen starts to decrease. Our breasts start to shrink. And where does the fat like to go? To our waist. And we definitely can't forget things like weight gain, weight loss, even if you are actively trying to build muscle, even losing muscle. All of this will have some type of effect on how your body shape evolves with you. Now let's talk about body shapes. What you should first understand is that the body shape mythology guide is just a tool to help you dress better and nothing else. And what I mean by that, from a fashion point of view, ultimately, there are some nuances. Our body comes in many beautiful shapes and sizes. And even though the body shape may be categorized the same, you have to live where you are. And here's what I mean by that. All right, kittens, I just want to mention to stay to the end. And if you have a measuring tape, this is where you'll want to grab it because we are going to measure ourselves. There are generally 5 different body shapes: hourglass, triangle, inverted triangle, rectangle, circle, or you may have heard hourglass, pear, strawberry, banana, apple. These shapes are just categories. The nuances, in my opinion, is your unique size. Are you petite, average, or plus size? Because from a fashion point of view, clothes fit differently on different heights, sizes, and shapes. And ultimately, knowing where you are will help you elevate your style by knowing how to dress for your unique body shape. Let's talk about the different body shapes. But first, when doing my research, there were plenty of how to videos on regular size bodies. Because I'm a curvy woman, I wanted to see myself represented with bodies that look like me. So I really had to dig. And all of what I found so far as videos are really all dated. But we, as curvy women, are still facing many obstacles when it comes to finding clothes that fit our curves. And because of this, conversation needs to always be relevant. So, here are some basic facts about the 5 shapes that I'm going to focus on today. Hourglass. Marilyn Monroe is undoubtedly a familiar face, and she is your average size hourglass. Ashley Graham, I believe, is the first plus size supermodel to be featured on Sports Illustrated. I think it's Sports Illustrated. Don't quote me. So she would be your plus size hourglass representation. So, 8% of the population is true hourglass. Your shoulder and hips are roughly the same proportions, give or take a couple inches, and you have a clearly defined waist. Triangle, aka pear. Beyonce, believe it or not, fits into this category. I know it's hard to believe because when you look at her, she looks like an hourglass, but her stylist uses her clothes to give her the appearance of an hourglass. I found a photo where you can kind of tell or see that she is a true triangle pear. So 20% of the population is triangle. The shoulders are smaller than the hips and the waist is clearly defined. Inverted triangle, aka strawberry. Jill Scott fits into this category. 5% of the population is this shape. The shoulders are typically wider than the hips and the waist is not clearly defined. Next, rectangle, aka banana. Queen Latifah fits in this category. This is the most common shape from what they say. 40% of the population is this shape. You have equal proportions from shoulder to hips. Next, circle, aka apple. Lizzo fits in this category. 20% of the population is in this category. The bust and waist are proportionately equal, give or take a couple inches, with the hips being smaller than both and the waist is not clearly defined. All right, kittens, let's take those measurements. You can follow along with me or reference back if you don't have a measuring tape. Let me add that knowing your measurements will save you so much time and frustration when you're shopping online as well. We are going to take 4 measurements: shoulders, bust, waist, hips. And you'll need to jot these down. Here's the easy part. You'll then go to this website called inchcalculator.com. Enter your measurements and voila, it will tell you your unique body shape. All right, ladies. So the first measurement is going to be your shoulders. Now, you can do this by yourself. It may be a little difficult, but it can be done. The measurements may be off a little bit, so this is where I would advise to get some help. You want to wrap the tape around the fullest part of your shoulders, okay? We're going to move on to the bust area. Now, this is where it is advised to actually not wear a bra, but when you think about it, you wear a bra when you have your clothes on. So I chose to get something that didn't give me much support. And again, you want to go around the fullest part of your breast. Inhale, exhale, relax. The next is your waist. Now, this is where it's a little tricky because everybody's waist is not in the same place. So slightly bend over where your skin creases at. That's where your natural waist is, and that's where you want to put the measuring tape. Relax. You should not have any shapewear on. You want to do this on the skin. The next portion is your hips. You want to take the tape around the fullest part of your hips, the fullest part of your derriere. Relax. All right. And again, no shapewear. And that's going to give you your hip measurement. I hope that you jotted everything down. You're going to go to inchcalculator.com, put your measurements in, and so now that you have an idea and a visual of your body shape, you're probably thinking, how will this benefit me? Well, from a fashion perspective, knowing your shape will help you choose clothing that complements your unique shape. And also, always keep in mind using color, pattern, and shapes to draw the attention where you want is key. That is something that was valuable to me, and learning how to do that really helped me elevate the way that I dress as well. I believe that for every body shape that there is something about you that you love. But because we have been brainwashed into focusing on what we don't like, we hide behind our clothes and inadvertently bring attention to what we don't like. Like the math ain't math then. Here's a key takeaway and something to remember when you're standing in front of your mirror and feel defeated with what you're wearing. You have the power within you to dictate how your clothes look on you. Now, when you understand that your style is who you are and an outward expression of your unique essence, knowing your body shape will release you from societal chains that are holding you hostage. We are done dressing to hide, and we're working on styling our unique bodies. Now, I have a confession to make. I have believed up until I did the research for this and I put my measurements in that inch calculator online, I believed all this time that I had an hourglass figure. But when I put my measurements in, it came back triangle slash pear. My top proportions, my top measurements are smaller than my hips. I have been categorized in a triangle slash pear body shape, which for me really is not going to change the way I dress because I've always dressed for an hourglass figure. I've always known that the top portion of my body proportionately is smaller than the bottom portion of my body. I've learned how to dress for my body shape. If you are interested in diving a little bit deeper and learning how to understand the difference for each body shape when it comes to how you dress, I can definitely do another video just giving you some tidbits and some information on how to do that. I've also learned about dressing in third, and that ties into knowing your body shape and knowing how to trick the eye, to visually trick the eye to look where you want it to look and not focus on what you are trying to possibly conceal or hide. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about that, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely do that for you as well. This was definitely interesting, and like I said, a lot of the research that I read is really kind of old and really dated. And I believe that this is something that needs to stay relevant. It needs to really stay at the top of conversation because we are so brainwashed in wanting to look a certain way, wanting to have the perfect, I just want to be healthy, and I want to live in the body that I have right now. I don't want to think about how I want to be tomorrow because like I shared with you guys, tomorrow isn't promised. So I'm going to love the body that I am in right now, and I'm going to be grateful and appreciate where I am right now. I also have a video that I did that is talking about how to take care of your clothes and understanding your body shape and your measurements and how to successfully shop online. I'm still hearing so much about just how frustrated a lot of us are with shopping online. So knowing your body measurements will definitely help you. And if you'd like to see a breakdown of how I used my measurements when I shop online, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely revisit that for you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with someone. I want to get this out to as many women as possible because, again, this subject is still relevant. It is still relevant, and I think that this will help so many women. Thank you so much. And as always, you can always find me on my other social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your continued support. This is MsDorciah, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.